Hi. It's new setup today.
Hey, yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Well, we need to tell our faithful listeners a little bit about that. I mean, those who only listen, they don't care.
No.
But
How do I say this correctly? Balls up, cock up,
that's a good way to sum it up.
related to
Yeah.
space. Let's see if the transcription will pick that up, or if I have to edit it with asterisks. But yeah, this is episode number
Number 9.
9. What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about blends. We're trying to prove that we're not snobs, that we are able to open our horizon a little bit, talk about or try something else, something a bit different. So let's go to blended whiskeys.
Okay, so there's a conception. Conception? Is that the word? Perception. Perception. There's a perception that blends is kind of, because they're a little bit more of a mixer drink, a little bit more softer and balanced, that they're a little bit inferior to single malts.
They're by far the biggest market. I mean, the biggest sellers, the biggest producers, by far.
I think it's 90%
Yeah.
of all Scotch is sold and made is blends. So yeah, there's the market for it. But we're here to check, are they any good? I don't know.
We haven't had many blends because we are a little bit snobbish. So we do tend to focus mostly, you less than me, because you've tried some other things, but we're mostly focused around Scotland and single malts. Right? This is our thing.
I wouldn't say we're snobs. I'd say we're like amateur snobs.
Yeah,
because we don't really know what we're talking about.
that's true. But in today's going to be a discovery for both of us. Right?
Yeah.
We both had some of the famous blends before. Probably
That's right.
When we were younger, Coca-Cola, some other atrocious.
Yeah, some
That's
other black branded cola drink.
But today, it's going to be very interesting because we went a little bit outside of that. But if we get to it in due time.
So what is a blend? Basically, what is it a blend of?
A blend of different grains, or if you some are what we call grains, and it has to have. I'm making a mess of it.
No,
It's a mix of at least one malted whiskey and at least one. So just at least one grain whiskey. But you have a special category which is blended malts.
that's right. Yeah.
Right, which is really only malted whiskey.
So the way I understood it is they actually take whiskies that have been distilled. Mm-hmm. So it's different distilleries, different ages, different barrel types, different periods of maturation. I have to be very careful with that word. and then they mix any number of those things. Yeah. But you're right in that typically the ratio is 15 to 40% of a single malt, typically one, as you say. And then obviously 60 to 85% of single grain, which is helps to kind of even out the flavor, doesn't it? Than the single intensity of a single malt.
Yeah. So let's say from what I've learned, if it's not specified that it's a blended malt, then you assume you know that there is a mix of a larger proportion of grain whiskey and some malty whiskey.
That's right. Yeah, and if there is an age statement on a blended whiskey, it's always the youngest whiskey in the mix. So if she's got a 21-year-old, well, you never do this, but a 21-year-old mixed with like an 8-year-old, it has to say 8.
Right. Okay.
Because you do have that sometimes.
So if we talk about single malts that we have in every episode until now, they do mix casks, right? They have several casks of what they have distilled at the distillery, and they do mix them. Right? They do blend their own product.
Yeah, from the same malt.
From the same malt. So it all comes from the same distillery, which has sourced
the malted
ingredients from the same places. So that's where the blended whiskeys make a difference. They blend different whiskeys from different distilleries across different regions.
Yeah.
To try and mix and match different profiles. And also they try to, I think it's one of their stated goals, to try and create a reproducible, constant flavor profile.
Which is not easy when you're mixing things.
Right. I've read that it could be up to 40 different whiskeys that are going to try and blend into making one single bottle.
Yeah, it's insane. We talk about is it inferior or not? There is really an element of mastery. We talk about master distiller. Yeah. There is a mastery to it.
The word I used in my notes is like they also to be a visionary, like to see before. Well, they're going to experiment and try and error, of course, but they also have an idea. Like if I mix this and that, also, this needs a little bit more of this or that to try and create what they have in their head.
Yeah,
visionary skills.
And we mentioned it earlier. One of the biggest markets for blended whiskies is mixers, cocktails. And why use blends in cocktails? Why? Well, firstly, one would hope you wouldn't put a single malt with anything else, because, you know, there's a mastery that has gone into that as well. But firstly, they're cheaper. Generally, the process of making a malt is a lot cheaper and easier. Secondly, the grain whiskies are more balanced, and they take out the intensity of the single malt, which creates that more soft, balanced flavor that is easier to mix with.
The grain,
exactly, the grain whiskey.
Yeah, they bring lightness and sweetness, and the malts complexity to it, so they try and balance. It's
exactly
an exercise to try to find the right balance between the two.
And I think that's a good word, is balance, because with a single malt, we talk about layers of flavor. Well, you don't want that if you're going to mix it with cola or something. You want a more balanced flavor profile, as you say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge market, and there's nothing wrong with the cocktail.
I'm talking about John Walkers and the world.
Yeah, and I don't even want to embarrass myself in trying to mention them, because one, it would mean I actually drunk them, and two, it would mean I'm really old. But yeah, there is this mildness and mixability about, not that I read that off my notes, with the blends. But I've got a really good quote, and I'm going to read from my notes. I'm going to read a quote, and it's from Dave Broom's book in 2014 called Whiskey, Emmanuel. Not Emmanuel, the name, Emmanuel, like instruction. Here it is. This is my black book of notes, as you remember from previous episode. A single malt is like a solitary mountain peak. There are supporting flavors, but the peak rises above them. Blends are like a range of rolling hills. They are beautiful to look at, but part of a wider landscape. They are not better or worse. They are different.
Good fun.
I mean, he wrote a book, so he probably knows what he's talking about.
I mean, this is the episode. We're done.
But it does come back to that idea of, are they inferior? And no, there's a mastery to them.
Yeah. But there's an element that doesn't come into play. Like you said, they don't distill the primary product themselves. They just have to go find what they're going to stock and what they're going to mix together. And this is probably the biggest talent that these people have. I mean, we have like excellent tasters, like people, great noses as well. You want to be able to come up with these.
That's right. And as you say, visionaries.
Yeah.
And definitely from my perspective of mastery. But that's the blend. I don't have any more notes on blends.
Well, there's something we can talk about when we get to the tasting.
Yeah, the tasting may be relevant.
It's going to bring up some facts that we can also maybe talk about.
All right, but I am looking forward to this. What's next?
I think we always have a piece of news, and I think you have some news to share.
Yeah. The news, yeah, completely not related to this subject matter. However, Penderyn have released a new icon. And the icon, if you don't know, is there's going to be a series of 50 bottles released, and it's called Icons of Wales. And each one represents something uniquely tied to Welsh history or culture or language or sport. There are some commercial tie-ins, and blatantly the commercial tie-ins you can still buy like a couple of months after they're released, but the unique Welsh kind of cultural links, those fly off the shelves, and you can't get them again. So, note to Penderyn. I understand the business side, commercial tie-ins, but, maybe it's better to have them actually sell the stock. And so keep to the interesting ones. And I've got an example of an interesting one. Sure. And I have it right here. So look how cool this is. This is icon number 11. And it's related to Patagonia and the Welsh voyage a long time ago. a group of intrepid explorers decided to let's go around the world and settle in Patagonia of all places, in a very inhospitable place. But this represents this voyage. And look how, talking about icons and or investment or uniqueness, look how cool this is. So cool. And then the bottle itself, here you have the date of the exploration, 1865, the ship itself, written across it in design is history. And this, I think, is just one of the most amazing things in the whiskey world right now. A series of icons that get released. Beautiful presentation, great investment ideas. The flavor as well is superb.
Yeah, it says our first blended malt whiskey.
Yeah, this is a blended, which is, I believe, the name of the ship.
Well, in collaboration with might be, yeah.
But very, very cool. And they've released a new icon. It's not this one. It's Port Merion, which is a village in North Wales. Completely weird, like beautiful villas, Spanish villas, Mediterranean feel in the middle of the Welsh mountains. And they're celebrating their 100-year anniversary. So there's a new icon available. And yeah, I just think there's such a cool thing that they release. That's it.
What show us the other bottle now? The one that we're going to actually taste. Because you can making me.
So, tasting time. Where is it? Where did I put it? So, here it is. Copper box.
Compass
box. Color copper. Compass box. Artist blend. This bottler is one of the only blends that they actually recommend sipping and not mixing.
I noticed that they are out of Edinburgh, right?
It's Edinburgh tribute. It's a tribute to Edinburgh, to the bartenders, fronteurs, artists, performers.
I know that they say here what you would typically see on a single malt bottling, natural color, unchill filtered.
Yeah.
So yeah, the made for sipping.
And I believe I've got it written here, the list of whiskies that went into it.
Do tell us.
Cameron Bridge Distillery.
Do you know if it's grey or malt?
Actually, if I work out how to do it and the editing, I'll put the picture here because it's a really cool pie chart. Cameron Bridge, Highland Malt Blend, Linkwood, one of your favorites, Clynish,
also not my favorite.
Balmenoch, and some more Linkwood, but a different expression. And it's really cool that the website, actually tells you everything about this flavor profile and how it's been mixed.
And if you talk about here, I think this is the thing I wanted to bring up. Single marrying cask.
Yeah.
So they don't just acquire the different expressions of different whiskeys from different regions and blend them together and then put it in a bottle.
No.
They put it in a cask. That's called a marrying cask. So the blend will actually mature a second time in a different cask of their choosing. And they say here, somewhere, I think, cask type, ex-sherry seasoned butt.
So yeah, they bring all those things together and then they let them mature together for a period. I don't know if it says exactly how long.
I didn't see.
No. Maybe if I find it, I'll put it also up somewhere so people can see. But I think it's time to try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm really looking forward to this. So notes on the color. Oh, the smell.
Very nice. Dark yellow. The smell is, oh yeah. Hello. It says hello.
I'm getting apples.
Yeah, I'm getting apples too. Yeah.
I was like, did they invent that?
Cider?
It's definitely got an apple flavor to it. Oh, no, I know. I think so. Yeah. Long finish.
Apple disappears.
It's a little bit, it's definitely smooth, what you would expect from a blend. Even a little bit creamy.
You could say that, yeah. Is there some a hint of caramel or something sweet but also burnt?
Salted caramel. Yep, that's there.
It says so. It says what we're supposed to.
No.
Right? Compared to the single malt that we typically drink?
The flavors are really smooth, balanced. The apple's good, creamy, long finish. I wouldn't say it as
complex.
It's definitely not as complex. But you know what I mean? Like I still get a little bit of heat of the alcohol.
And it's 49%, right?
No, is it 49?
I think this was my or 46. It's in the middle.
49, yeah, 49. I think I'd be quite happy drinking this, and mulling over it.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have the complexity, but it definitely has some interesting...
there's no reason not to drink it.
No.
And we have to say thank you to our friend who suggested this bottle.
Yeah. A big shout out to La Pozzola Whiskey Shop, who contributed the bottle today. Big surprise, but very, very happy and appreciated. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really... I think this has changed my mind about blends. Because I said all that stuff earlier, but I don't actually own any blends. But I think this especially, they've done a good job.
Well, it's not a blend made necessarily for mixing, right?
No, as we said, this is more a sipping blend. Yeah. Because it does take you on that little ride of apples and creamy and caramel. Long finish.
No, beautiful.
And I like the color.
Yeah.
You definitely get the kind of caramel color.
You like the nose. The best.
Yeah, the apples was such a surprise. We tried another whiskey recently where I talked about it as being the ideal summer drink.
Yeah, that was not so long ago.
It's not so long ago. But this is not far away from that. It's actually something really nice. Fair play to Compass Box.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well done. Good selection. Thank you for the tip.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
While we finish this off, what is the next episode?
The next episode is going to be a little bit linked with this one we just had. We're going to talk about independent bottlers. What does that mean? Who are they?
They sound like pirates. Scallywags.
Well, we'll find out. Don't spill the beans.
Yeah. As always, if you have any questions or feedback, mocking of our setup today.
Yeah, leave a comment or a question, a criticism, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Bell, heart, star, thumbs up, like, appreciated, subscribe.
You said it all.
What else do we have to say?
I think that's it.
Goodbye.
Bye.